Welcome to Saints and Feasts of the Catholic Calendar, meeting the greatest men and women who have ever lived. December 21st, St. Peter Canisius, priest and doctor, 1521 to 1597, patron saint of Germany. A zealous Jesuit is the tip of the Counter-Reformation spear. The deep impact of today's saint so shook Germany that the reverberations of his work were still being felt centuries after his death. St. Peter Canisius composed question and answer German language catechisms for every educational level. These catechisms were clear, scriptural, and of the purest doctrine. Hundreds of editions were printed during his own lifetime and for centuries afterwards. Pope Benedict XVI, a German, said that in his father's generation, in the last half of the 19th century, a catechism in Germany was still known simply as the Canisius. This was 300 years after Peter Canisius had died. If St. Boniface was the apostle of Germany in the 8th century, then St. Peter Canisius was the catechist of Germany in the 16th. Peter Canisius was born in the Netherlands and attended the University of Cologne. During his studies, he prayed at a Carthusian monastery and came to know one of the very first Jesuits. After a period of discernment, he joined the Society of Jesus. He was ordained a priest in 1546, and just 1 year later participated in a session of the Council of Trent in the employ of a German bishop. Soon after this experience at the highest level of church life, Peter was sent by St. Ignatius of Loyola to teach at a minor Jesuit college, a test of Peter's obedience. This ministry was short-lived, as Peter's erudition and skills were destined to have a wider scope. Peter was a working, teaching, preaching scholar who did all things well. He edited the works of St. Cyril of Alexandria, Pope St. Leo the Great, and St. Jerome. He wrote over 8,000 pages of letters to people of every rank of society. His refinements of his popular catechisms never ceased, and he worked for years with other scholars to compose a work on church history to counter a popular Protestant history book which twisted the truth of Catholicism's role in European history. Peter's life was spent crisscrossing Central Europe in an era fraught with religious tension. The concussive force of the Protestant Reformation stunned the cerebellum of Central Europe for decades. Shock, confusion, and violence spread outward from Germany in wave after confusing wave. Peter and many others slowly helped Germany, Switzerland, Austria, and Bohemia to recover their mental health and to remain true to their historic Catholic identity. Peter was in Vienna, where the people and princes wanted him to stay and be their bishop, but St. Ignatius, his superior, said no. Peter's skills were needed elsewhere. Then Peter was in Prague, starting Jesuit colleges, preaching to empty churches, and, in the end, winning the day. Then Peter was in Bavaria, then Switzerland, and then Poland. His zeal, learning, and holiness were self-evident. He held blameless the majority of Protestants, who were such out of ignorance or apathy. He reserved his rare invective only for the heresiarchs themselves, and for other intellectuals who should have known better. He distinguished between those who were willful apostates and those who were the victims of circumstances. Peter Canisius was a perpetual storm who rained down knowledge, apologetics, books, sermons, and letters over all of Central Europe. He brought calm and moderation to a violent, fevered time. One biographer estimates Peter traveled 20,000 miles on foot and horseback over a period of 30 years to further his apostolic labors. Peter Canisius was canonized and declared a doctor of the Church on the same day in 1925. St. Peter, God raised you up at the right time to save the faith in Central Europe. Your even temper, broad knowledge, life of prayer, and personal virtue brought lost sheep back into the fold. From heaven, help all priests, deacons, and teachers to do the same. Amen.